It's about to be a lot of sleepless nights. Let me explain. We're going to try to get the S13 done in 3 weeks. Super excited. There's a lot that has to be done in order to get this in, excuse me, the chassis in 3 weeks. The motor is almost done. We finally have a decision on the turbos. Have to finish the head drain. We're gonna have to figure out coolant as well as wiring. Have to finish assembling the trans. We're gonna have to put the motor, we're gonna have to test with the motor, we're going to put it in and pull it out a few times. There's a lot of complex parts to it. There's a lot of customization and fabricating that'll probably need to be done, not including the wiring, but 3 weeks, we'll have the motor turning over, sitting in the car. So, for today, the goal is to finish the transmission, assemble the 350Z gears into the housing, and show you the Collins adapter plate. It actually fits perfectly, go figure, now that it's been milled down, so you can kind of get a rough idea by just taking a look at it now. Hey Heather, do you know what time it is?
Is it ponytail time?
It's ponytail time! Also, you guys, today is the day. Merch is dropped. shop.ameliahartford.com. Go check it out, cop that, don't sleep on the drop. This is huge. This is one of the biggest drops to date. Squish, squish.
Don't squish me.
There are limited supplies. You don't have to leave the video right now. Finish the video and then make sure you guys hop on over to that site. Show some love, cop the merch, rep it. Make sure you take a photo of it and tag me of it on Instagram so I can repost that as well. I love you, Ecrew. All right, let's go lay the parts out. So, in case you guys remember from a previous vlog, Sean disassembled the 350Z trans in order to have the housing milled. I don't know how to put it back together. We are going to follow the service manual and try and get that back together so that she is ready. And in case you guys are wondering why we had to mill down the housing, that is in order to run the Collins adapter plate, that little black piece right there, in order to run the 350Z trans with the RB26. So 6-speed as opposed to the 5-speed manual that typically comes with them. Sean's laying things out right now, and then we'll get to assembling, and then we're one step closer.
You remember how to put this thing back together, right?
Do you?
No idea.
Send help.
Should be pretty easy.
Yeah. I mean, there's only a few parts. Oh, we have to cut and weld and relocate the shifter, don't we?
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Don't I do that?
All right, before we go ahead and get started on that, I'm gonna clean the housing. So now that the housing is cleaned off, I'm gonna start scraping off the RTV and some of the mating surfaces. I'm gonna start with this. Sean's gonna work on that one. And then from there, we'll drop it in shaft side down with some fresh new sealant so the mating surfaces are perfect. Put on the snap ring and go from there. This is probably my second time taking apart a transmission, really trying to follow the service manual, but this little magnet, I was kind of taking the RTV off and this little magnet was like sitting inside here. But yeah, so I thought I'd wipe it off. I did, but now it doesn't like sit in there anymore, just like it's stuck to this. I would imagine that that's to collect any metal shavings or floaties in the trans, but I don't know how to put it back. We figured out the magnet thing. In the housing, this is where it goes and it sits like a little U on the other side. The service manual says just to pack it with grease, so I imagine that's its resting place. And then it'll just collect metal shavings throughout the mileage. This looks great. I'm probably gonna find some like steel wool, maybe something softer like Scotch Brite Pad to buff this down a little bit, but all the RTV is off. You can see there's just still a little bit of something there. RTV with the, oh yeah, Nissan orange represent. I'm gonna go all the way around, except the service manual says not to go around all the bolts, but to stay on the inside, except for this one to kind of do one of those loops.
Here, and then I'll switch to the shop. I can't.
I don't have the guns to do this.
Well, here, I'll do it with you, and then we'll switch.
You got it? Oh. Oh.
This motherfucker.
The magnet?
Yeah.
Did it come out?
I'm back out.
Take 3.
So the best thing,
Send something on this side.
give it a little wiggle.
You fit it in.
I'm trying.
Oh! Oh! Alright, so let me just explain what happened. What happened really quick, so we didn't want the RTV to dry in case we had to take it off. We didn't want the whole 9 yards of a mess. Sean's removing this piece now. We just drilled in a couple bolts because we had to flip it over to pop in the bearing in. The bearing popped out when the input shaft went through. Input shaft, I believe that was
Idler shaft.
Idler shaft, thank you. When the idler shaft went through. So we laid it down, popped it back in, everything was good, put it back up, undid. I don't know what you would call that piece, but now I'm going
The back housing cover.
back
thing.
house top, but bleh. But now I'm going to RTV. All this again, put on that back housing piece, whatever you would call it. And then I think we're good, you guys. One thing though I don't want to forget is that before we put the back house piece thing back on, is that we have to put the reverse gear back in. You're applying that so thick. Like 3 C's, like Casey said in today's vlog, thick, thick. 3 C's thick.
You think so?
Look at that. Look at that, that's Sean's bead. This is my bead.
Now I really want to know like the process of where the engineer said, oh, we need to go around that hole. Nice work.
Thank you.
So this thing on. I'll throw it on. Oh.
I offered to do it, but Sean's actually done this a few times, so he's gonna put the back cover piece on. There it is. And I believe that is a wrap for the transmission. I wanted to give, there's fingerprints all over this. I wanted to give one final big thank you to Collins. Collins will be running their adapter plate on the Z33 Trans. Definitely recommend it to anyone. If you guys are doing it yourself, there'll be another video with it later when we actually install the adapter plate. But it's super simple, it's not that intimidating, I promise, and the write-up is very helpful, they're very clear. We had the housing milled down 14 millimeters and made sure the dowel pins or the guide pins were still there. I mean, I'm excited for it. The trans is essentially good to go. The only difficult part would be lifting the trans into the housing, but not too shabby. I think also for the shifter bracket, right there, we're gonna have to cut and weld it to relocate it and shorten it a little bit. All right, you guys, thank you so much for watching. That is a wrap on the Z33 Trans. I feel like my spirit finger is. The transmission is assembled, and obviously there's like a few little things we still need to do to button her up, but for the most part, you guys get the gist of it. If you guys enjoyed this video, remember to give it a like, and if you true Ecrew, well, you'd be subscribed, so I shouldn't have to tell you to subscribe. I love you guys. Ecrew, we out here with love. Bye. Oh, copy your merch, copy your merch, copy your merch. It's available right now. Okay, bye.